Check, check, 1, 2. All right. Sharing the screen or just yo. All right, here's my first go at streaming live from Zoom on the YouTube. I'm a little late only because I was looking to figure this out and I did it. I did it. I finally got it here. So if you're here, thank you. I appreciate your patience. Sorry for the little delay, but I am working on making this as perfect as I possibly can. So now I'm going to work on sharing my screen. This is all going to be new to me, so just work with me. Yes. Okay. The chart is there. All right. I want to make sure people are in here. Let's go here. We started 2 minutes ago. Got it. Okay. All right, we are live. We are live. We're going. Okay, so yo, the name is Dwayne. This is the December stock market analysis. I'm your host. I do this every single month. And this month is going to be on December. Last month was on November. So if you can, make sure after this video, go ahead, check that out. That was recorded live last month. We do this the first Monday of each month. All right. So New Year's ended up being the beginning of this month. So obviously, I punted it out to where we are right now. So once again, every single Monday, first Monday of every single month, we do the analysis of the month prior, and we do that just using the four indexes. If you are new to here, make sure that you hit that follow button, that subscribe. You can check out every single other video that I have here, which I do a weekly analysis where we cover the market and also mix it with hip hop every week. And I show you a brand new hip hop lyric that shows you how hip hop and finance have always been together. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Check out the rest of the videos. I truly appreciate it. Watch it all the way to the end. Helps me with the algorithm, all that good stuff. I'm doing my best to get to folks. So this one is going to be on same four indexes that we did, as well as any other stock that you bring to the table. So make sure you have those ready. Please do me a favor, save those for the end of the analysis. That way allows us time to elaborate on it and share ideas. So once again, save that for the end. We'll get to it. But first things first, let's go ahead and check out how the market is doing. December was an awesome month. We had our Christmas rally. We talked about that last meeting that we had. Just to recap on that, we talked about how the highs were likely going to happen because of the cup and handle pattern, and we can follow up on that this time. So this right now is the S&P chart that we're talking about. I'm going to zoom in. Where's my chart? As a matter of fact, on here. I got a lot of screens, so bear with me as I get to the correct one. But we have the S&P right now, and it is sitting towards its record highs. Is this the one that I am sharing? Mouse on there yet? No, no mousy, no mousy. I don't think that's the right one. Oh, there it is. Okay, I forget there's a delay on there. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more. Perfect. I'm getting this out my way up here. Okay. All right. We're going to do a top-down analysis. The way that we always do our charts here and the way that I teach it is we always look at the monthly first and the weekly. The reason why we do a top-down analysis is we want to see and survey all of the price action as much as we possibly can, and then we drill down from there. It's a top-down analysis. This is the way that I teach it. This is the way I do it personally. This is the way that I encourage other people to do it as well. It makes it very, very simple to get the overall concept of what is happening with the price action. From there, you can get granular and start moving down to the lower time frame charts. So we're going to always start with our monthly when we do this. Right now, S&P is at 4,763.54. We talked last month about how we would likely reach record highs. We have not reached that record high as of yet, but we are very, very close to reaching that record high. Record high is 4,818.62, and we are only about a stone's throw of almost $50 off from there right now. So we talked about how we had this cup and handle pattern, and we were looking to see how this would play out. We wanted to have the activation of this pattern by a solid close above 4,600, and we got that close. That 4,600 is represented by this line right here, and you can see last month that we did strongly close above that. And anytime we close at the highs, chances of a continuation are pretty good. So for the month of January, we are starting off pretty hot. We move lower, and then we have started to pick up steam. But December is what we are talking about right now. We were looking for this close, and we got that close. Now that we have that activation, what do we do from here? This is what traders need to do as well as investors. We need to be able to take action. Once you see that you have the confirmation that you want on the chart, you have to take action. This is a very good signal. And on top of that, if this signal were to be a fake out, we still need to take action. And the reason being is because we cannot be scared of the fake out. Fake outs don't happen that often, but if they do, you can never be mad at being involved in the perfect setup that you were waiting for. So this is a very good green light. And on one of my recent videos, I actually gave a thumbs up for an entry on this. Even though it is near the highs, we are playing the pattern. We want that cup and handle pattern. And I'm going to zoom in even further as I look on how it looks on YouTube right now. This cup and handle pattern right now, this is all we are looking to play. And as long as we had this as our signal, that is go time. I look for this to continue to go higher. I think the S&P will have a phenomenal year, and I think we're going to continue to surge higher. I don't have a price target to share just yet because I haven't done the math on where it could likely go. But I think S&P has a really good shot at going higher. That's the monthly chart. Now we take a look at what's going on with the weekly. Weekly will likely coincide with that, and we can see that's exactly what it does. It coincides here. We've had the development of over a year, and then here we go for this time frame here. This is that cup that we just saw on the monthly. And here is the handle. And we see we had that explosiveness. Last week was where we fell. This week, we are regaining steam from where we fell from. So I like what's happening right now. This is aligning with what we saw on the monthly chart. The monthly chart and the weekly are good together. All that to say we are good to go with the S&P. So we'll come up with a target towards the latter end of this analysis. That's S&P. IWM is the one that we are keeping a very good close eye on because this is the one that has been the laggard. And once it participates, the rest of the market will likely continue to move higher. Let's change that over to the monthly. Monthly chart right now is showing that things have been stagnant, right? We talked about this last month on how IWM has just been really, really going nowhere for the longest time. But we also talked about how we had support. We have support showing around this 162 area. That 162 area has been support and consistent support in this zone as well as this zone. And you can see in the past that it has also been resistance. So it is a strong sign of support. We've touched it 1, 2, and now a third time. We've got our bullish engulf that we talked about last month. The month of December was hot, just like the rest of the indexes. This one was a hot one as well. We closed near those highs, and this is one of the first times that has actually closed almost right above 200. So I like what I'm seeing with IWM right now. I think that it has a really good chance of breaking out of this zone that we have played in for quite some time. That's the monthly. Weekly is going to coincide with that, where we see the same exact development. And as we zoom in, we can see back and forth, and now we've done in this very same zone before, where it has come here and it has fallen and moved back down here. But this time we are holding a little bit steady because every time we've come here, we've fallen. Each time we've fallen, this time we're starting to hold up. And I think this is a very good sign. We see our 200-day moving average starting to curve as well. So keeping a close eye on this one. We really need that solid close to give us confirmation above that 200 area. And if we do have that, we talked last month on how that area of volatility is likely going to repeat. So a close above 200 is going to enter into this zone here. And this zone, you can see we've had very large candles. We've had very long wicks on each of the candles. And we can see that volatility is likely going to repeat. So I like a close above 200 for it to move to 210. 210 is going to move to 220 because you can see also anytime it was above 210, we've had that same area of volatility repeat. So it's going to be very volatile above 200. If we do close above there, expect the market to move fast, and faster. And it's going to be a neck snap every time when the price moves if this IWM closed above 200. Next, Dow Jones. Dow Jones is on the clock. If I can get the keys, I swear to you, I took typing class. There it is. 37,683.01. This did make record highs. The Dow, we're going to take a look at the monthly chart. All right, there we go. Record highs achieved 37,790.08. And as we look at this, we can see December was very, very hot. We closed on the highs in December. That was a record high in December, and we are continuing on with that record high. This continuity is going to be what I think is going to happen for February as well as March before we finally probably have a pullback around then, only because March tends to be a volatile month, and that's when things tend to sell off. That's the only reason why I think that. Other than that, I think the market is going to continue on its path on its move higher. The Dow Jones is not showing any signs right now of slowing down. I think buying is going to resume, and we'll continue on and make newer highs. Monthly right now looks good. Weekly is what we just took a look at, and we can see that we are right at those highs, right? This week so far is getting closer and closer to that record high. We had 37,683, 37,790 is the record high. So we are only almost $110 off. So we are right there knocking at the door. I think that this will continue to move higher. We have no signs right now of anything slowing down. Dow Jones is easy. That's a very simple one. Last one that we can review is the Nasdaq. Let's get that right. Let me check and make sure there are no questions. Yo, peace to everybody who's in here. I'm just now checking on what we got in the chat, but we'll get to the questions if there are any in there right now. But thank you for coming along. I really am honored. I'm truly just privileged in order to be able to do something like this. This is a dream come true to be able to help people learn how to read charts. I used to be very, very, I want to say, what's the word? Intimidated, I guess, when it came to reading charts. I didn't think I can do it, honestly. And it took a lot of time for me to learn how to do it. And as I learn how to do it, I want to be able to show you the easier ways. So the knowledge that I have now, I am applying it as best as I possibly can to simplify it in order to give you the entry into it. And if you're already somebody who knows how to read charts, great, because we can have conversations and we can learn from each other. But back to the analysis. Last one on the deck right here is Nasdaq. Nasdaq's at 16,649.87. And we talked last month on how this would also make record highs based upon the cup and handle pattern. And we've got just that right now. We have the handle and we got our solid close. Oh, we're on the weekly. First of all, let me go back to the monthly. Same thing, cup and handle pattern. Whenever you see it on a monthly chart, it is very, very strong possibility of a breakout. That's why I always look at my monthly chart. Monthly chart, you have a chart pattern develop on there. Very good signs of development. It did break out. We had December also show that it made a record high. And right now we are hanging tight. We slipped in the beginning on the first week, second week, we are rebounding. And I think that this is going to have continuity as well. And we are going to attack that high. That is based upon that cup and handle. We're making things very simple here. We're not trying to look for any news event or none of that. We are looking simply at price action in order to help us gauge where the market can likely go. And that price action right there is showing you that there's nothing in the way. So monthly looks good. And we just accidentally stumbled upon a weekly the first time. But just to recap, cup and handle here looks also good. Here's our handle. And then here is our breakout. Strong breakout here. We've had somewhat of a reversal here with this doji, but things are holding on tight. This can be a signal of continuation as well if it is not verified as a signal to the downside. And this time right now, it is not. We've got support being held up, and we've got everything, all systems to go. So all four indexes right now are looking pretty strong for continuation to the upside. We are now heading into earnings season for quarter four reports or whatever other stock might be, quarter three, quarter two, whatever it may be. But we are heading into earnings season right now, and things can get hot very, very quickly. I alluded to how IWM could be the index that could lead, well, not really lead, but at least start giving power to this rally to continue to move faster. That can be the gasoline on a fire if that does pick up. So we are going to look closely for a close above 200 for this month. If we do have it, then chances are we're going to make a very strong move to 210, and then likely that is going to continue to make that move to 220 before things finally cool off there based upon the chart. So let me go ahead and take a look what we got going on as far as questions are concerned in this chat. All right, so we got peace to Zenith in here. I appreciate you stopping by. Nick, thank you. I appreciate you. Yo, we got everybody in here. Skylar, what's up, my guy? Yes. All right, so put your questions in here if you got any. and we'll get at it. I'll follow up on one that we got from last month. Not really a question, but just really a stock that we talked about, and it's Verizon. If you're not in my chat, I do have a chat that's on Facebook. We can talk about that. I will put, matter of fact, if you can't, just put your Facebook tag, or what do you call it? Facebook profile? I don't know what you call it officially. Facebook profile. Go ahead and put that in the chat. If you want to be added, put that in there. I'll throw you in the chat. And we talk weekly. We don't talk a lot. We just talk and make it effective. So when we talk, we do talk about charts and other things that we see. So if you want in there, make sure you put it in the chat. But we talked about a stock last month of Verizon. And in the chat, we've also brought it up. Well, I've brought it up a couple of times to show patterns. Just simple patterns, how they work, all of that good stuff. I'll bring up Verizon right now. Ticker is VZ. It's at $40.10. Last time we talked about this last month. Let's talk about it right here. Last month, we can see we were hanging around 37 or so. I've brought it up before in a prior video. Not video, in a prior meeting where it was hanging closer to that 34 area when it first started to get there. And as a matter of fact, on my podcast back in September, if you roll the tape back there, you can go in September when I did my stock picks there. I mentioned Verizon at that point when it was near its record lows. Reason why is because on the chart, it showed a signal for a reversal. Usually when things get out of hand, a reversal is something that we can look forward to. And I was spotting a reversal based upon this monthly chart, just right here. So here's what I was looking for. We saw that things sold off from around 60, and we took a nosedive, right? Typically what happens when you have a stock that falls that fast, we get too far away from its moving average. And because of that, this is where I like to sniff out scenarios in order to make some decent money off of fear. Verizon fell too far away from its 50-day moving average. And because of that, I started to look for an opportunity to get involved. So for me to get involved with Verizon, the number one thing that I need to look for was support. This is what we always do when we read a chart. We are looking for support first. If we find that support, then we look for that level. That level happened to be around $30. And that was because we highlighted this last month. We've seen a lot of candle activity around that $30 area. Because of that, when it got closer to 30 is when I got involved in the stock. And luckily, I got in when it was closer to 30, and we have jumped about $10 since then. So I'm looking forward to Verizon to continue to move higher. I think that it has a good shot at getting to 50. Right now, my price target is 46. That's based upon a measured move, but I do think that it will eventually continue to climb to get to 50. This is why I think it will get to 50. It's because if you look at the chart, take a look at what $50 represents. $50 has a lot of activity there in that same area. We've got years of data to back that up. Around $50, Verizon tends to get sticky. And because of that, I think that the price will return to around that $50 area because it's a magnetic price. It will attract itself to around $50. So other investors who also got in, and institutional investors that got in around that low 30 area, that's a pretty decent gain. We're talking about $20 if you did get in at 30, or close to $20 if you got anything closer to 30. And if you got $20 and it was about $30, that is a 66% return. That's pretty solid, as well as it has a dividend that kicks in. At that price, it was probably closer to 8% of a yield. So I like Verizon for its move higher based upon that. That was my chart read. That's why I got involved. Let's see if I got any questions in there. questions just yet. Yo, so Kim, you said you can't see the chart. Well, tell me if you can't see my chart in here, because I'm I'm streaming on here, but then I'm also looking at YouTube right now to see what I think you see. So if you don't see it, let me know. Put it in the chat. And I'm in here as Stocks and Bars, my other YouTube channel. Also, follow that. Follow that, please. I would appreciate that. Let's think of some other stocks here that I can think of. You know what? Let's go ahead and cover a fan favorite, right? Apple's always on everybody's list. Apple is a stock that I think everybody should basically own because technically every institution already owns it. And two, it's probably in whatever ETF you may be buying, more than likely. So owning it outright, unless you don't want to pay $185, get it from the ETF. Let's say private though. Trying to figure out why this is broadcasting as private. I put on here public to let other people in. Anyway, let's go over Apple. Apple right now, monthly chart. We got, okay. So here's what I see right now. Monthly chart right now is showing that we had a shooting star around that 200 area. 200 has been a very strong resistance area in the past, and it continued to hold up. 180 has also been support, and you can see in this area here, this has been resistance before. So because of that, this should be a new support level, and it is holding up at 180. So the entry level for Apple right now, unfortunately, on the high side is 180. If we do get to around 200, look to see if this is going to sell off again. That could be a nice little $20 gain if that's something that people want to scalp. Apple at 200 is tough. It has been rejected twice so far. This is a huge candle that was rejected before, and it was once again sold on indecision, and now we are still hanging below it. 180 is an entry point, 200 is a sell point. This could be range bound. Don't be surprised. Weekly chart right now is looking like we had a gap down too. So we just talked about how there was a shooting star, that candle. That same candle is also showing that we had a what's called a bearish harami. These two candles represent a harami pattern on the candlestick patterns, and then we had a gap down. That gap down is also not good. So Apple right now is on high alert for a move, just a move that could potentially go lower. We're going to watch that gap. That gap gets, it shows rejection, then this is going to move lower. So keep an eye on price around that 190 area. Just round up 190 area. 187 and some change right now is going to be the resistance area. That's because this is where that gap starts. If we zoom in closer, you see this gap. For those of you who are not familiar, a gap is just a large drawdown in the price. Anytime you see how these candles are all together, if you see a candle that is extremely distant from another candle, that is what's called a gap or a window. And this gap is all we are going to be looking for. If this does not fill to the upside, this is likely going to be a signal for a move lower. So watch out for Apple 190 area. All right, got no questions still on here, huh? Yo, y'all silent. Either y'all silent or I got something going on with my chat on my side. So it's 8:03 right now. If there are no questions, we can just wrap up. So I'll wait a little bit to see if there's any questions in here. I'm going to go in my chat as well and make sure. Apparently, there's some issues here. Let me see what's going on with Zoom. Thank you, Skylar. I appreciate you, brother. Oh, okay. Let me get it back in here, man. Something ain't right on my side. I'm still getting used to this. So, once again, thanks for the patience. I'm trying to figure it out on how to operate all this on Zoom, answer questions live, and all of that. Oh, snap. Okay, so that's it. Got it. Is that it? All right. Yo, if you got questions, I'm sorry I can't see them for whatever reason. So I'm gonna do my best here. All right. So shout out to Skylar for plugging me in on what's going on here. And Matthew, I appreciate you too, brother. We got some questions in here that I don't see, but I'm gonna hopefully figure. All right, here we go. Restore, restore. Give me my chat. Thought it was in here. All right. First things first, we got IWM and CSPI. We did IWM as far as the analysis goes, but so I'll jump to CSPI. All right, 1891 right now, CSPI. First things we're going to do is going to look at that monthly chart. Monthly chart right now shows that this thing went crazy and then it sold off. Anytime I see this, I want to back away from this. And the reason why I want to back away from this is because I don't like when things get manipulated. This is straight up manipulation. For whatever reason, something came in here and it just took it to the moon. And then we had now what is called a bearish engulf candle signal here. Straight to the downside. This right here could also form what's called a bear flag. So I am on high alert right now that this could continue to break down. But on all of that said, I also talked about how things are set up. So right now, support is also around that $18 area, and we are not too far from it. So just understand that this has potential to move lower. I like an entry at 18, but be very, very cautious that that 18 could break down. And if it does break down, you need to know what is the next level of defense that you need to take. And that next level of defense is going to be the next level of support. We keep it very, very simple here. We're going to always look for support for our best entries for any stock. 18, 18 right now is the current support. Next level of support would be around $15. So if 18 breaks, we're going to look around $15. And the reason why we're going to look around $15 is, let's take a look at what our line says here. If you're not familiar with Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, whatever it is now, this is what I use. This is what we're using right now. I just use my price tool here, active tool that I got going on as my price. And this is showing that around $15, this was a former area of resistance. And we saw we had a strong close above it. And because of that, the price got hot. $18 is where things started to show some level of support once more. I say 18, but we're just rounding. And then if it does fall below, we have this area that we can fall on. So $18 is an okay entry if you want to get started, but please be aware that the price could continue to fall. $15 is your next level in order to defend yourself. SCSPI. Let me get to other questions that may be in here. Yeah, I can't see no questions in here. I'm telling you, I'm looking at my live chat right now and I can see no questions, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out eventually. Okay, DIVO from Matt. Okay, so DIVO is at 36.62. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Monthly right now is showing we are range bound pretty much all year. We've been between 34 and like 37. 34 and 37 is where we have played and danced for all of last year, is what I meant. And this year, we are at the upper end of what that range has represented. We've seen a year before that where it's also been pretty range bound, but that 200-day or the 50-day moving average has been pretty strong. So I do like what I see here because we have higher lows. Things could break out. Okay. So my personal chart read on this right here is I don't like an entry at this level only because it has not showed that it is broken out. So I'm not convinced that this stock is ready to break out yet until I get that breakout. If it does break out, then I am buying near the top end of that. That's because I want to make sure that this is confirmed. So here's the price that I'm looking at right around that, pretty much where we're at right now. If this is going to be a breakout, where we should have a close strong above that area there. So around this $37 area is where I'm looking for this to show me conviction that the price is going to move higher. If not, it's likely going to continue to move range bound, and then I'd look for an entry closer to around that $34 area. That's DIVO. What else do we got? PANW from Skyler. All right. PANW. Okay, monthly chart right now is showing that there was a very huge signal of indecisive action. We hit 318. Investors got skittish, made a very strong sell, and it's made a spinning top. Spinning top is the indecisive candle. And because of that, now we have January showing that things are starting to move lower. Rebounded, but it moved lower based upon this. This is something that I'm going to also say this is a hold. This is a straight pause right now. This signal right now is not giving me the warm, fuzzy feeling that I would like to have if I want to invest some money in this stock. So this is a pause. I'd wait to see how this develops around this area, around a little bit lower than 300. So where we're at, 280, 290 or so. I will wait to see how this develops in order for me to be confident that this is going to continue to move higher. So monthly shows that, weekly shows. Also, when you look at the MACD here, you can see anytime we've reached, what is this, close to 20, that 20 area. Anytime we reached around 20, each time we started to at least pause, right? This one continued to move higher. This one, well, never mind then. Slap me silly. That's all wrong. So we're back around 20. We powered higher last time, so I was completely wrong. My personal read is I'd stay out of it only because that's showing indecisive action based on the candles. The candles right now do not give me confidence that that's ready to continue to move higher. But I do like this defense at 280. So me, I'm staying out. I like PANW, but this is not something that I like right now from my chart read. So I don't like it based on that. But if I will say right now is that if you want to get involved, 280 would be the best target price that you can get involved at. Well, it's somewhere, probably upstairs. All right, well, I'll look for later, okay? Ooh, Tesla. Okay, that's a good one. Tesla. This one comes up a lot. I'm trying to figure out why I cannot see the live chat. I'll figure it out. At least I think I will. Anyway, Tesla. Right now, we are at 240.45. I still like Tesla. I really do. I think that this has an opportunity to move higher. We are doing that based upon this 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average is showing that each time it has gotten pretty close to it, that it has rebounded. And once again, that is moving higher. 50 days moving higher. And now our 30 days also participating in the move higher. I like Tesla for a move higher based upon the 200-day moving average showing that it is moving up. That's the weekly. Monthly chart is showing similar, right? We got our 50-day moving average also showing that each time it has gotten closer to it, it has moved higher. It has tried to sell off at 300. We've shown support around this 240 area. So all that's showing that the bulls are there. The bulls are there to pick it up. And we can see on our MACD, buying has started. So I do like Tesla for a move higher. Price target is moved back to around 300. I like Tesla. That was simple. I'm trying to see these messages. That's not simple for me for whatever reason. Microsoft. We got Matt in here for Microsoft. I'm going to have to do a lot of research on how to operate this here Zoom and the chat and figure out how to get that going correctly. It told me to press the button. I did. At least I got this going. The video, I just can't figure out the whole chat thing. All right, so Microsoft right now 374.69, and it had a pretty nice day today, up almost 2%, and that is pretty close to record highs. 384.30 is the record high right now. And shoot, I heard this one is going to be the one that might be the top stock over Apple pretty soon. Getting over the 3 trillion mark, I think is what it was. But we've got the same thing going on here. What's this, family? Cup, handle, and a breakout. So based upon that, I like Microsoft for a run. Microsoft could continue to move higher. And if we're going to talk about a move higher, let's do a quick analysis on that of almost, we'll just go ahead and round to about $100. We can easily get to 450 on Microsoft and probably a little bit higher because my math is approximate. But I like Microsoft for a move higher right now based upon this cup and handle pattern. That's a continuation pattern. Cup, handle, and we had a strong close. This could continue to move higher very easily. So I like Microsoft. Going back in here. Okay, there we go. There we go. I think I got it now. I'm starting to see it. Got Kim saying a couple things here. Okay, yes, Kim, I can see your comments now. I don't know what I did differently, but it's working now. My picture's blocking the chart. Let me take a look at what I got going on here. Okay, so my picture's in the top right hand corner right there. All right. Let me see if I can do something here. See if I can get slick with it. Yeah, what we got? No, that's not doing the thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can move my face out the way. I don't know how I can get it done, Kim. I really don't. Wait, that kind of worked. Come on, come on, come on, come on. React, react, react. Yo, this is weird because it is like a serious like 5 second delay. So I see everything on my chart before it happens over here on YouTube. Sorry, Kim. I got to figure out how to take my face and probably move it towards the bottom end of it. I don't know what I'm doing at this point right now. So I have to keep that in mind. Yeah, that didn't do anything. It's a learning curve. I appreciate everybody's patience and guidance on this. If y'all know how to do this, definitely shoot me some pointers because I'm still learning how to do all this. Last month was using other software. Up, 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 up. Hold on, I see a reaction there. I think I got it. What's that look like, Kim? What's that look like? Charts blurry. Okay. Yeah, we gonna work on everything. We're gonna work on it all here. Do you have your resolution to 1080 on your side? I gotta figure out how I can make sure there's a default on my side too. Operation Zoom's not working well right now. Anyway, now that I can actually see the comments in here, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. Uh, trying with the blurriness. Let me see what I can get going on here. Nah, I can't worry about that right now. Um, Let me go back to yeah, I'm gonna have to learn, Kim, what they do to the chart on here, how to use Zoom on here. Be a couple more YouTube videos away from perfection. So thanks for all the feedback tonight. I appreciate everybody who's giving it to me, letting me know what they see, what they don't see, what can be done better, all of that good stuff. Just keep it coming my way. I'm looking forward to getting better. Well, running out of steam here. We're gonna close on Microsoft being pretty good, and I'm gonna have to do my research. I'm gonna have to do my research on how to execute on Zoom a little bit better. I was excited to get this opportunity to do this tonight. Shout out to Matt for suggesting this in the first place. Last month was the first time that I was able to do it. Second time, a little better. I think my charting software, not my charting software, but my recording software last time was probably better than using Zoom, but that's only because I don't know anything about using Zoom right now. So thank you all for the feedback. If you have anything to say to me, you can always send it to me. That's at Gmail, Wincrease20 at Gmail. Follow me on any social media. That's at Wincrease Team. You can also just hit me up here. You can do that on YouTube. Make sure you follow me here. Subscribe. I do weekly videos and as well as this monthly video. And like I said, I'm just doing my best to do better at everything that I can possibly do. So thank you for all the feedback. Going through all the comments here now. All right. Matt, you my dog. We're gonna do Maxi, and then we are closing out of here. Hopefully this looks a little bit better. So Maxi right now is at 2130, and we had a strong gap up. That's a very long wick there from 20, almost 26. 2510 is the record high, and now we're at 2130. Maxi, it looks okay. It looks okay because it is trending along well with its 20-day moving average. If you're looking for an entry price in Maxi, I would like it closer to 20. 2130 is a stretch, but it's only $1.30 away from what I'm just talking about. So just realize that risk is there of about $1.30 from my read on the chart. So I like Maxi closer to 20. It's a decent trending chart right now. So it could actually retest the highs near that $25 area as it continues to gain strength. So Maxi is okay in my book. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We're gonna figure it out for next month. I look forward to getting better. Like I said, one more time. I got my due diligence to do. I thought this was gonna be a straight up press the button. It was gonna be dope, but it is not what what I thought it would turn out to be tonight. But that's okay. That's okay. Stepping stone, we'll get there one step at a time. I look forward to figuring out the best way possible. Maybe Zoom isn't it. Maybe it's something else that I need to get involved in. But right now, I'll figure it out. And I thank y'all for the patience and participation tonight. I thank you for the questions. I thank you for the time. I just thank you, period, for checking me out, vibing with me, having an interaction, all that good stuff. So if there's anything you want to learn, like I said, just hit me up. I'll do my best. I do a lot of this for free. I just enjoy doing it, period. I like helping people. I remember what it always was to be on the other side, wanting that help. So now that I'm on the other side, I am very grateful to be able to provide whatever type of help that I can give to you in order to help you learn how to read charts. So that's it for tonight. Next month will be February 1st. February 1st, Monday will be the 5th. So we're going to look for February 5th to be the next date for the monthly meeting. And hopefully on February 5th, this will be a step better than what it was tonight. At the very least, I look forward to it. So thank you again. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good night, and I'll check you next time.